In Europe, they call it Fortress Europe. There's an image there on your left of the Spanish Guardia Civil detaining migrants. In North America, politicians shortly after 9/11 called it Fortress North America, although they started shying away from using that term. But as we'll hear from other speakers, I'm sure, there is definitely a regime of Fortress North America. In Australia and New Zealand, that's the other image on your right there, that's a boatload of migrants, mainly from Indonesia, but originally from Algeria, from Palestine, from Iraq, from Afghanistan, who were detained. They don't call it a fortress, they call it the Pacific solution. When you ask, a fortress against whom, a solution against who, this is clearly racist terminology. These are now images from another common international migrant route, which is from Latin America, from South America, mainly Central America, and also Mexico, into the United States. The border wall, the famous border wall that, I just need to know how much time I have left because I can lose track of 5 minutes, okay. The famous border wall that's being built there wasn't introduced by George Bush, by the way. Bill Clinton started building that wall, but he built it in areas where there was a high traffic of migrants, because if you had the choice between going through a desert or going through an area where you might be able to get water or might be able to get shelter, you would choose the route where you get water and shelter. So Clinton built that wall on those regions, so people now take desert routes and die of dehydration in the desert. I've always debated whether I should include this image, but I do after consulting with other people, because you find corpses this decomposed in the desert when people undertake those journeys. This is a map just of 1 year. Every single red dot there, this is just in Arizona, the Arizona-Mexico border, and of course Arizona is in the news now because of their astoundingly racist South Africa-like policy vis-a-vis so-called illegals. But every red dot there represents a corpse that was found on just the American side in that year. And you don't see it on, the corpses that are on the other side as well. And of course, they're now fortifying that border, bringing in a virtual fence, because the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans, I think, is that the Republicans are more interested in the symbolism of the entire wall. The Democrats just want to be more efficient about the wall, so they're emphasizing this virtual fence with motion detectors and cameras and what have you. This is built by Boeing, subcontract to a company called Elbit. Elbit is an Israeli company that built the border wall in Palestine. So these links that we're making all the time as no-one's legal groups are made for us. These are images of migrants jumping over that fence that's up in Soita, Nahia. It's a surveillance camera video. You see their clothes that get ripped off as they jump over the barbed wire. The response to all these migrants coming in, well, our response is to challenge the border regime, is to offer support to migrants, is to declare that no one is illegal, to declare that these borders are fundamentally violent and racist, to say that if you want to deal with displacement, deal with the root causes of displacement, the response by European authorities with the complicity of African countries is to put in a tear gas diffusion system, is to increase the wall. So what does it mean when you increase the wall? It means that before, when someone would fall over that wall, they might break their ankle or break their leg or have a concussion. Now, when the wall is that much more higher, people can fall over and die. I haven't done justice, I'm just skipping over a bunch of images now because my time is running out, but I haven't done justice to the entire reality of migration here. Just wanted to end with that. But I just want to just end with this point because I think I have 1 minute left. Okay. Because the G20 is coming up. This People's Summit is meeting in the context of the G20. And I think we can't make fake analogies and false analogies, but we are talking about realities that a lot of us are very close to, either through as a lived reality or because we know people who've lived through these experiences. And I've described the migration part of it. I haven't described the fact that even when people get to the point of entry, there's other forms of exploitation, other forms of harming people that the other panelists will handle. But we're seeing a microcosm of this global apartheid. We're seeing a microcosm of these fences and these walls mean with this fence that's gone up in Toronto. And it's totally illegitimate. And I think there needs to be a very open call, and we need to build, with the week that we have left, a strength together and collectively to take down those fences and take down those walls, to make those links. The G20 policymakers, they're the people responsible for maintaining these border regimes. They're the ones that, on the one hand, are declaring that good immigrants and good migrants, that they want to come in with their PhDs and their their willingness to invest in the rest of it, and on the other side, they're taking advantage of this precarity and this exploitation. So I think it's fair to say that no one as legal groups consider that fence to be an abomination, and I, in particular, am encouraging people, hopefully we can discuss this later, to organize in such a way that we take down that fence and get beyond the false fear, and also get beyond the way in which certain people are being marginalized who declare that this fence should be taken down, and try to build a movement where we can take down those fences in solidarity with the